Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Life of Asmi. It's been forever since I've filmed this video, and this particular video I've been actually looking forward to since forever, and I'm so grateful that I get to film it. So as you read the title, it's about how I cleared my FMG in one go, and it's really been crazy. It's going to be a roller coaster, so I'm gonna give you a sneak peek into what you're gonna get into if you're someone who's gonna give the FMG soon, or even after a few years or something like that. I hope this video helps you in some sort of way, because not a lot of people talk about what exactly a person goes through. So I'm not just gonna talk about tips and how you can study and what I did, but also as to how I dealt with the existence of this entire exam itself. So yeah, without any further ado, let's begin. But as a disclaimer, you guys, I have not been paid any money by anyone. This is not a promotional video. It's completely my own experience, what and how it was for me personally, plus some people around me who I have stayed in contact with throughout this exam. So yeah, let's begin. So the biggest question I get asked is what source I have used in order to study. So I had Prep Ladder before, and then I switched to Mist FMG classes in Feb 2025. I joined the last batch. From Prep Ladder, I mostly studied all those basic subjects to begin with, but I think I just should have focused on subjects like medicine, pharmacology and pathology instead, so that I felt like it could have helped me with revision of those subjects. And most of the time I just use Prep Ladder for the Q banks rather than the videos. Then once I shift to Mist FMG, they take online live classes. I joined the last batch and it costed me 77k for the entire 4-6 months ka subscription, and they take live online classes from which like can start from 8 o'clock in the morning or in 10 o'clock in the morning. So they lasted sometimes even for 12 hours, but sometimes just 3 hours, so you have to prepare yourself for that. So the other question people ask, like what all they consist of the Mist classes. So they take live classes, regular live classes where they teach an entire subject, and then they take revision classes as well, and in the end you give the subject wise test for which they take test and discussion ka class as well, plus 25 important question at the end of the entire journey. Also they have Telegram groups where they keep sharing MCQs for you to solve, and weekly test for the syllabus you completed in the previous week, plus some other subjects and subject wise tests. There are a lot of tests. Yeah, so this is all, and there are a lot of things that they do which I'm going to talk about. As for the grand test, I use the same two sources, the Prep Ladder one and the Mist one. The Prep Ladder grand tests are on a bit difficulty level, because for me I did not watch the entire main videos, all the main videos from Prep Ladder, so it was difficult for me. But for those like one of my friend, we discussed about it a lot ke Prep Ladder ke grand tests are on a bit difficult side, because they do give a lot of questions regarding cancer and staging. That's what I observed, and most of the time we scored the same amount of marks in it, like 130 to 150, which, trust me, in Prep Ladder standards are a lot of marks, and that's how much you're scoring in those. You're gonna definitely pass, I swear. And as for the Mist ones, they took 7 to 8 it's a grand test back to back. It was pretty actually really good experience, to be honest, because to begin with the difficulty level was a little bit lower side. It was easy, but that time we did not revise as much as we had, so we scored around 170 to 190 marks. And as the last three exams were very difficult, and they said to us that we're gonna increase the difficulty level to get you prepared for all kind of circumstances, like you don't have to feel lost when you sit in front of the FMG exam. So they prepped us for everything, and I think that's one of the things, that's why I never lost my cool while giving the exam as well. I felt like ye to main kar chuki hu, this is what I've been doing since past 3 months, so it did not really feel a lot to me. Yeah. The other question were about Q banks and test. I use PrepLadder Q banks pretty religiously because I have been used to it since past 2 years. That's what I had been using, and that's why I really love the type of format. They give very difficult question, but there is explanation by the end of it, by which I feel like I get to revise the topic all over again. So that's one thing I really liked about PrepLadder ka Q bank. As for MIST, they took test every week. So once you complete a certain syllabus, like past week syllabus used to be in the Tuesday ka test, and it used to of course be MCQs, all MCQs from one-liners to clinical question depending on which subject it is. Sometimes it used to be just one subject or all the subjects which we have completed, like it's been a month or something like that. And yeah, pretty much, but don't feel bad if you're not scoring good marks in Q banks of PrepLadder, because they have a difficulty level ka issue. As I said, they do. For the format of question is pretty difficult. It's most of the time very neat level. That's why I feel that their results are so like 200 plus and everything. In any way, as for MIST test, they always felt to me like I get to revise that subject all over again while giving the test and think about a particular topic in a different way, in a different format, which again helps you to form questions. Please don't run away from question. I beg you, please don't run away from question. I know in the beginning it can feel like I'm not able to understand it. I'm not able to know exactly how this question has been asked. But please don't stop solving question. The more you do it, the more you practice, the more you are able to understand the language of the questions, the format of the question, what exactly they are asking, even what not they are asking. Because myself, I made a lot of mistake when it came to questions like choose the most incorrect option and forgot to read the except and incorrect and correct, and it can be confusing sometimes when you read it in a go. So read the question at least twice before you solve the options, like with options. Read the question, read the option, read the question again in like just to make sure you haven't like missed any words in particular. That happened to me a lot. I made that mistake back to back. So please don't do that, okay? Next thing, you guys asked me about my subject wise strategy. I did not really have any in particular because the MIST, they had a schedule and that's what we followed, which was really great because I could not come up with a schedule for myself. I used to feel pretty lost as to what to do and what not to do. There was just a lot to do, right? And as for me, I think I focused on revising a subject or a topic in particular and then solving PYQs or questions related to it. So it felt like I'm revising it all over again. As I said, the questions really help you revise a topic really well and in a different format. I'm not kidding, guys. Solve those questions. Please solve the questions starting from the very beginning till the last day. Keep solving question. Don't get out of practice. How much ever you're scoring bad or you're not able to score as much as you thought you would, you're making mistakes, you're not getting marks in a topic you know very well in, still please don't stop solving questions. Just keep on doing them and revise it all over again. You don't need to go back and read the questions like once you solve it, but solve as many as you can. Did you get it? You got it, right? So just focus on getting the knowledge and the practice in. Don't care about those marks. Seriously, don't really care about those marks at all. But don't skip any test. If you're joined MIST, please don't skip any tests. Those tests are really gonna help you a lot. Sometimes even revision can't help you as much as those tests have, at least for me. So don't skip a test even if you haven't studied. There have been times I did not study at all and I still gave the test and I still passed because subconsciously I still had those things back in my mind and I did not know about it. So yeah, please don't skip exams, questions, and tests. The biggest question all of us have ever gotten is PYQs. Guys, they were not kidding when they said we get PYQs. We did get a lot of PYQs. Some were like straightforward PYQs, some were little twisted ones, but there were PYQs. So please solve your PYQs. As for me, I solved past 5 years, 5 to 6 years के FMG के PYQs and 3 years to 4 years NEET PYQs, which are more than enough, to be honest. And once you solve those PYQs, you will know exactly the topics you have to focus more on. There are certain topics that are like very much repeated constantly, and I felt so nice when I used to solve PYQs and look at those topics like ये तो पिछले questions, ये तो पिछले पेपर में भी आया था, ये तो उसके पहले पेपर में भी आया था. So yeah guys, there are certain topics which are repeated constantly, so don't skip on PYQs and focus on which topics they are been asking out of you, so that you don't miss those ones. As for the subjects which are important, I felt like in the previous first section of the paper, PSM, microbiology, pharmacology, and anatomy were the ones I scored a lot in. I might have scored a lot in, and those were the topics I could remember clearly most of the time, subjects. So yeah, make certain subjects your weapon, use them a lot. Like, there are certain subjects you might not really like, but at least make sure you're going through the highlighted stuff of those subjects, or revision, like the revision classes wala content, which is a little bit shorter than the original textbook ones. So yeah, focus on those things. So don't opt out on subjects. For me, I felt like biochemistry and ophthalmology were not my very best subjects, so I just went through the revision wala PDF for the ophthalmology. And for the biochemistry, I just read the book once or twice, most of the time just the highlighted stuff, and solved the PYQs. Because in biochemistry, tell you not, I kid you not, there were those only certain topics they asked question from, like only those certain topics. So I really felt nice that I could remember them because of the PYQs and the questions I solved through the missed test and the grand test. So yeah, don't skip on those subjects, even if they are difficult. At least go through them once. I swear it will come in handy. And please don't skip on 25 important questions. They definitely have a lot of scope to be repeated. Like certain questions can come directly or from that same topic, so watch those videos as well. I personally might have just skipped test and discussion ke videos because I was at a point where I just could not watch any more videos and I had to revise for myself. Then talking about the revision, you have to revise a certain subject minimum, I feel like 3 to 4 times minimum. Okay, there are certain subjects I myself might have not revised more than 2 times, which I should have actually, but then I would have just lost it. But yeah, if you can, please revise a certain subject at least 4 times minimum, especially those subjects which can score you a lot of marks. Like for the second section, ops, surgery, medicine, ENT, these are like the most scoring subjects you can ever revise and not like miss out on anything. I mean, please revise these subjects. They're like really important. Whatever topic it may be, wherever it might come from, please just read those subjects really well, because I think I have scored a lot in surgery and ops and subjects like that. So, but again, please don't feel bad if you're not able to revise a certain thing as many times as you would have liked to. But yeah, I mean, there have been times when I felt like I could have done better in that particular subject, but I just could not. So don't beat yourself up to it. Just don't beat yourself because of it. Just do focus on those subjects which you actually enjoy. Sometimes that can actually help a lot more than those subjects you're dreading your brain onto and you're still not able to get it in your brain, you know. But you know, there are times have felt like I don't remember anything, but I actually do, because your subconscious remembers stuff, guys, trust me. My most favorite method of studying was the Pomodoro technique. If you don't know about it, it's where you sit for a certain amount of time and take break of a certain amount of time and keep doing it back to back in order to maintain a flow. So for me, I used to study for 25 minutes, and then for 5 minutes I used to do something like take a break, walk around the house, scroll on my phone. That actually used to refresh me and kind of motivate me to begin my 25 minutes all over again. So like that you can keep increasing your time, like from 25 you can make it 30, to make it 40, you can make it 1 hour depending on your stamina. But this technique has actually helped, and the breaks are necessary, guys. Please take breaks. I'm not kidding, you need breaks. You're not a machine, you're only human. Please take breaks. I think I have even gone a complete day without studying, and that's totally fine. Say, not every day you wake up with the same energy, the same motivation, and there's just a lot of exhaustion. So yeah, you need those breaks. Just don't exceed it as much as that you can't really get back to it. So don't exceed it that much, but please take your breaks. As for how many hours I studied, my study time varied according to Miss schedule, the classes and the test and everything. But I can definitely tell you it was literally 3 hours to 15 hours. Some days I really just studied for 3 hours. I might have just given the test and not studied at all, or just solved some PYQs. PYQs were my escape. I mean, any kind of MCQs were my escape. When I could not study, that's what I used to go and do, solve MCQs, because not everyone has the strength to revise a certain thing all over again, over and over again, over and over, same content. I know it gets exhausting, I know it gets tiring, I know how it feels like you're not able to remember. Even after studying and revising it so many times, your brain is like, I don't remember bro, I don't know what to do. But once you solve those MCQs, that's when you realize you do remember. There are certain things in back of your mind that they are not gonna go away. So just trust in yourself. Don't lose that confidence. Don't doubt yourself. I mean, you're gonna doubt yourself. I know you're gonna doubt yourself. There are gonna be a lot of worries. There are gonna be a lot of cries. But you're just human, right? So let it all out. Let those doubt go into the spiral, but come out of it. Don't give up on it. Like, don't give up on yourself. You got this, okay? You got this. And on that note, let's talk about your health. That's the most important thing you have to be able to focus on as well throughout this 5-6 months. Please guys, please don't give up on your health. I myself might have gone to a doctor that many times in my entire life as I have in this past 6 months. I went to an ENT doctor, I went to a dermatologist. But yeah, I've been to a lot of doctors in this past 6 months than I've ever in my entire life. So don't give up on your health. I would suggest working out as soon as you wake up, at least for 10 to 15 minutes for that matter, and walk during those breaks. There might be during live classes you can't really walk in between and stuff like that. There are some teachers who can give break between like 30 minutes or 1 hour or even after 2 hours. So depending on that, keep your movement, keep going on, move around in your house. I'm not saying go out and go for a walk like 30 minutes and 1 hour or something like that. Just walk around your house or in your balcony or maybe your terrace or something like that. So yeah, you just need to have those daily movements in order to feel healthy, feel a little bit relaxed, because sitting on a sofa or a chair throughout the day is not a way of life. It's not how you're meant to be. You have been living your life for past 6 years to the fullest and everything stops, so it's not easy, I know. So just get those walks in between, listen to some songs, scroll your phone, scroll. You don't have to worry. Don't scroll for like half an hour or something, but just those 5 minutes of your break, you can definitely watch whatever you feel like, and not study material during that time as well, please guys, or just go to sleep. That's what one of my friend used to do. During longer breaks, she used to take sleep, which is actually a good thing, because nap is necessary, sleep is necessary. Don't go on 5-6 hours of sleep too big in the beginning itself. I actually never took 5 to 6 hours of sleep. I slept complete 8 hours from day 1 to last day. Yeah, so don't take my advice on that thing. I really needed my sleep. If I did not get enough of it, I just could not focus as well as I would like. So take your sleep. The next thing you can do is please meditate. If you're not someone who has never if you're someone like who has never meditated, please meditate. It's really important. Your brain is on constant battle as to getting those knowledge inside, getting everything soaked in, plus spiraling because of all the doubts and worrying. Everything adds up and it can really affect your sleep, your mental health, your entire well-being. To be honest, you might just feel very lethargic. So please meditate. If you can, just begin with 5 minutes, including breathing exercises and stuff like that. I swear to God, it really helps. I used to think so much. My brain used to be on constant on mode. That's why I could not even properly sleep. But once I started meditating almost every day, my sleep got better, because then I did not have those weird dreams about any of sort. Like I'm someone whose anxiety manifests in the form of dream. So that's where my something I had to really get into control. Then that's where meditation came into handy. So please meditate if you can, because that's one sort of thing that is good for your health. As for the motivation that we all kept googling about or asking our peers for, or even professors and teachers and our faculty, first, the must faculty is such a support, they're such good people. I swear, their motivation, the way they talk to us, it always felt so heartfelt, and like so genuine. Like they actually did care about us, and it just felt so nice to listen to those words. Sometimes we used to end up in tears. That's how good they were, and like that's how good they are. I swear, we are still in contact with them. They did not stop talking to us, or they did not stop being in connection with us, sort of. We still have some of the professors' text numbers, WhatsApp numbers, Telegram numbers, Instagram handles, and you can text them and they will definitely reply. And they always know what to say. I swear, they always know what to say. So yeah, if you have joined MISS, make sure you are using that source as well. Second thing that motivated me, this played a biggest part, was I don't want to do this all over again. It's not easy, and those who have never been through will never understand, and those who have never been to will also never understand how much even scoring 150 is actually so good. I mean, the amount of happiness and everything you get by just looking at this 150 score. That score does not matter. All you need is PS, is pass in front of your name, and that's it. So that's all my motivation was. Like, I need that pass in front of my name, and I kind of manifested my marks. To be honest, I used to score 170 to 190 in my grand test, and I was like, if I score even this much, I'll be more than happy. And that's what happened. I scored 174 marks, as you know. So yeah, it all worked out. It's all gonna work out for you as well, because a crybaby like me got through this. So can you. You can always text me if you want, and I will always be there to clear your doubts or help you with everything as much as I can. Take help, you guys. Talk to people around you. Keep people around you, your family or your friends, those ones that understand what you've been through, what you're going through. Keep them around you. They are like gonna be the biggest cheerleaders. I did not have enough faith in myself as much as people around me did. Whoever I talked to were like, "Tu to pass hone wali hai, why are you worried about?" I'm like, I don't know why I'm worried about. But of course you're gonna worry. It's your entire degree that matters. So yeah, it's not gonna be easy. It wasn't easy, but I can't wait for you guys to pass, and I'll see you on the other side as well, doctors. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope this helped. I know it's a very long video, but I had to cover everything and everything. This is still not everything that I talked about. There are still a lot of stuff I could talk about, but then it will just be a 1 hour long video or something like that. So yeah, I hope this helped you in some way or another. If you have any more questions, let me know. I will be there for you. We are there for you. You got this. All the best. Bye bye for now.